Good evening, distinguished guests. We ask that you now take your seats. Please take your seats. The program is about to begin. Please take your seats. The program is about to begin.
We're here at the Hyatt Regency San Francisco for a night of celebration at the 2021 Bay Area CFO of the Year Awards. I'm Xander Moore, they, them, representing Larkin Street Youth Press, and we're so glad you've joined us today.
Good evening, everyone. I am Cecilia Mancilla, Transformation Execution Practice Lead for EY's West Region. I am so happy to be with all of you here tonight in person, probably the first event for many of us after many, many months. And we are also pleased to have those of you that are joining us via live stream. Welcome.
And good evening. I'm Alan Ikea, Principal and Managing Director of Marsh McLennan Agency. We're grateful to support Larkin Street Youth Services for the past 8 years, and we're so pleased to welcome all of you to the 2021 Bay Area CFO of the Year Awards. This event is a special partnership between Larkin Street Youth Services and the San Francisco Business Times. Tonight, we'll honor an outstanding group of CFOs while raising funds to benefit Larkin Street, San Francisco's largest nonprofit provider of services for young people experiencing homelessness. Founded in 1984, the organization has helped more than 75,000 young adults in San Francisco by providing a continuum of healthcare, housing, employment, and education services.
You all have made such an impact on the community, and that shared value of giving back is why EY has been proud to support Larkin Street since its inception 15 years ago, and this year as one of its title sponsors. To each finalist, be proud of this moment. We all wish you the very, very best. Now, the theme of this year's event is rejuvenating connections and leading progress in the new normal. Something that CFOs being honored tonight know really well. Chief financial officers drive growth by managing the complexities of their own roles, tackling compelling challenges, and adapting to shifts in the market. The success of this event is a testament to the growth and change community can drive when it works together. Since its inception, the CFO of the Year Awards has raised more than $6 million to support Larkin Street.
At Marsh McLennan Agency, we also believe that changing environments require dynamic strategies. Our philosophy involves working closely with CFOs to innovate around the growth of their businesses. It's inspiring to be here with so many great organizations and individuals sparking change. You all represent the absolutely finest financial minds in the Bay Area.
Larkin Street addresses the unique needs of young people by providing, in addition to housing and healthcare, the education and employment services that are critical for success in the working world today. As EY's vision of positively impacting 1 billion lives by 2030, we support the next generation workforce to help ensure that young and underserved groups are prepared for the working world of the future. We are teaching innovative and transferable skills so that tomorrow's workers can find and sustain meaningful work amid constant change.
On behalf of us all, congratulations to the finalists for this year's awards and our 2021 Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Mark Hawkins, President and CFO Emeritus at Salesforce. Congratulations, everyone. And now, we're pleased and honored to introduce to you the Bay Area President and Publisher of the Silicon Valley Business Journal and San Francisco Business Times, a friend to many of us, Mary Huss.
Well, thank you, Alan and Cecilia, and gosh, it's so wonderful to be here with all of you. It's like, as Laura Powell just said, this is like a reunion. And gosh, the only thing is we're all wondering if we're wearing the right shoes and can remember how to actually carry on conversations, but it's still that same warm energy, and it's still that family of Larkin Street and the amazing CFOs that have become family over the years. So congratulations, I'll add those congratulations to the just exceptional CFOs we're honoring this evening. You know, it's been quite an 18 months, hasn't it? And what you've been through, I think we have an even greater appreciation of the importance of your jobs and how you've stepped up as leaders to help all those in your organizations keep calm and carry on and help those organizations continue to thrive. And I also want to add my congratulations to Mark Hawkins, our Lifetime Achievement Award winner. So congratulations again to all of you. And, you know, I also want to thank all of the wonderful sponsors who stuck with Larkin Street last year when we really weren't able to have this event and came back this year, and some new ones as well. And it's really been a family, and it continues to be a family. So thanks for believing in Larkin Street and believing in the importance of recognizing strong leaders who are in the CFO profession. So at the Business Times, one of our proudest partnerships is that with Larkin Street. And, you know, we actually were involved in the inception of this event, and always have to say, give a nod to Mary Purhall and Steve Kermsey, who were right there as we cooked this up. I don't think either of them are here tonight, but they are in spirit. And, you know, just to settle on what a great thing, what a wonderful thing would be to honor CFOs who are sometimes unsung heroes, but who are so central to their organization's success. So specifically, we're proud because this program has really helped sort of connect more wonderful corporate stewards and corporate leaders and built more relationships and forged that incredible support for the important work of Larkin Street, work that became even more important during the pandemic. So there are many good people over the years who've been introduced to this very, very wonderful Larkin Street. I always say Larkin Street catches young people at risk and in danger quite often, and at that point in their lives when you get them off the streets, you can get them into productive lives. They're so easily, not easily, I know Sherilyn, but they come and we see those wonderful success stories so much easier than when they're 20 years later in their lives. So this is so important to do this for the youth. So if you haven't had a tour, ask for one. Now, our role in the awards is to produce a publication that profiles each of the outstanding finalists. We'll publish it in the Business Times, and Larkin Street has it, and it gets posted online. Normally, I'm waving one around. It's, you know, the remote thing. I don't have one right now, so I'm sorry. But it will shine the light and tell your stories and make you a little more famous outside this room, and we're proud to publish it. And, you know, the independent selection, I just have to tell you about the selection process because it's just so good. So I want to applaud our amazing panel of the, I call them judges, but it's a selection panel. Many are past honorees. So thoughtful, so thorough, so deliberate, and making some really tough decisions. So anyway, thanks to the amazing team at Larkin Street. Sherilyn Adams is one of my most admired leaders. And, you know, has just steered this ship through a tough year and done so well. So I'm so proud of you, Sherilyn, and your team. And congratulations again to our outstanding CFO of the Year honorees. Applause for all of you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mary, for championing this important event year after year. I'm Kirsten Rhodes, Managing Partner for San Francisco's Deloitte office. As a longtime supporter of Larkin Street, Deloitte is proud to host the Alumni Table honoring those CFOs of the past. So I'd like to start by asking all of the former CFO of the Year Award honorees present to please stand while we give you a round of applause. Come on, stand up. With a strong history of investing in the local community, Deloitte takes pride in this event to honor key financial leaders in the Bay Area while benefiting an organization as vital as the Larkin Street Youth Services. Since 1984, Larkin Street, as you know, has given help to over 75,000 young people experiencing homelessness in San Francisco, and Deloitte will continue to stand by your side. Thank you all for participating in this incredibly important celebration. Your involvement means a great deal to your business colleagues and to the young people you will help here by being here tonight and contributing. So congratulations to all of this year's finalists and to Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Mark Hawkins.
Good evening. My name.
Thanks to the services provided by Larkin.
I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to work with Mark during the early stages of the pandemic. And while we had never met in person before this evening, we shared scenario planning ideas and discussed other challenges facing not only CFOs, but many of the C-suite colleagues. And his insightful approach with concerned stakeholders, as well as his genuine offer to serve as a resource for his peers, was an incredible reflection of the type of person Mark is, someone who absolutely is deserving of this award. So congratulations, Mark. Please enjoy your time with each other this evening. My goodness, this is just incredible to see so many friendly faces. And thank you all for supporting not only this remarkable set of CFOs, but also the incredible nonprofit organization. And now it's my distinct pleasure to introduce you the leader of the Larkin Street Youth Services, Sherilyn Adams. For nearly 30 years, Sherilyn has dedicated her career to the nonprofit sector, focusing on social services. She led Larkin Street for the past 16 years, continuing to improve on the outcomes, meet the needs of our young people, and work upstream to end youth homelessness. Sherilyn has been honored locally and nationally for her leadership, including by the White House, as champion for change in the fight against youth homelessness, and as a recipient of the prestigious 2019 James Irvine Leadership Award. As a fearless advocate, she is deeply invested in the growth and well-being of youth struggling in our city today. And if you know Sherilyn, you know her energy and her passion for this singular cause is absolutely contagious. Please join me in welcoming Larkin Street's esteemed Executive Director, Sherilyn Adams.
Sit down. I think, thank you, that's very kind. And it's really all about the staff and the young people. I do nothing without the staff, the young people on the board, and all of you. But I think we need to give a big round of applause for the finalists. We are here to celebrate the CFO of the Year finalists. So I mean, talk about a hard job. I will never, ever want. You know, a CFO is amazing. So we are so excited to be able to celebrate all of the CFO of the Year, of the finalists, to celebrate Mark, to celebrate the alumni tonight. I'm so glad to be here in the room with all of you, and glad that people are joining us from their living rooms tonight. It's a little bit, I gotta say, a little bit weird, right? Getting used to being all together. I just want to name that as we celebrate tonight. I want to thank Mary Huss, my friend and an incredible business leader, for all of her support over the years. We've been doing this thing together for 15 years, and we just couldn't have a better partner. Thank you, Mary. This event is both an opportunity to celebrate CFOs and to have a really fun and exciting evening. It is also critically important to Larkin Street, and you have heard a lot about the amazing support this event has brought to us over the past 15 years. It's $6 million. It means a lot. It has done so much for us to be able to house, educate, and employ young people who are on their journeys to becoming the next CFOs and innovators and entrepreneurs and all the things, right? Because they are just absolutely going to lead us into the future. And we couldn't have done it without all of you in this room. So many of our sponsors and donors have been with us since the beginning. You stayed with us this past 20 months. We are so grateful. For our title sponsors, Marsh McLennan and EY, thank you. And for all of you that are new and your first-time donors or first-time attendees or first-time contributors, thank you so much for being in the room with us tonight. And you're going to get to hear from you've already got to meet Xander, our press. Isn't that amazing? So thank you, Xander, for being here tonight. And you're going to get to meet another young person later in the show. You know, the young people we serve at Larkin Street have aspirations and dreams, and each and every one of them has unlimited potential. Our job is really just to remove the barriers so that their dreams, their aspirations, and their hopes can be realized. I don't have to tell any of you that the pandemic has been hard. All of us had our worlds turned upside down in one way or another. Yet those of us that were most vulnerable before the chaos, like our young people, were made more vulnerable during the joint health and economic crisis. They, of course, lost loved ones and friends, as many of us did. But they also lost jobs, became further disconnected from education. Some had no housing to shelter in place, no medical insurance if they got sick. Young people lost the very social fabric that we all need to survive and thrive, in spite of or even without a pandemic. Which is why it was so critical for us to continue our services uninterrupted. At the start of the pandemic, we pivoted immediately to maintain in-person staffing and services and the safety of our team and young people being our most important priority. Last year, we sheltered nearly 600 young people, either in our shelter or our housing programs. We stood up a shelter-in-place hotel for COVID-vulnerable young people, and we continued all of our education and employment programs, our art programming. We kept it going, a little remote and a little in person. We did all the things. We did it because of the staff. Our essential workforce showed up, and I will remain and am grateful to them, inspired by them, and moved by them every day. That's right. You know, they came to work. Remember when we thought masks weren't a thing? Yeah, they were coming to work then, and they've stayed at work. They have been amazing, and the young people have benefited immensely from their support. And the young people were also so brave, so brave. We are going to continue to evolve our services to meet the changing needs. We are super proud to be running a vaccine site for anybody over 12 in the Tenderloin on Tuesdays. We're going to do some rapid testing starting next Tuesday. We'll continue to do whatever we need to do to meet the needs of the young people we serve. You know, housing is only one piece of the puzzle to helping young people resolve their homelessness. And what we know now as a result of the pandemic and based on our years of experience is that we need to double down over the next year on education, employment, and youth leadership. When given opportunities to lead through participation in our youth advisory board, opportunities to learn new skills through our education program, and opportunities to earn an income through our training programs, young people flourish. Of course they do. They need all of us, now more than ever, to continue to support them as they walk on their journeys. Tonight's theme is about rejuvenating connections and leading progress in this new normal. We all want our community, this community, to return to its vibrancy. During this pandemic, we have learned how intricately woven together our lives are and how dependent upon one another we are to survive and to thrive. We are all adjusting to our new normal, how we work, how we play, how we gather. As we heal from all of the traumas of the past 20 months, we must continue to execute on our organization's missions and our company's missions while we continue to grapple with the unknown. But what we do know is if we come together and continue to support one another and share insight and resources, we can come back together better and stronger. Let us all take the lessons of the past 20 months and bring them into our hearts and our souls and be forever better, individually and collectively, because of what we've come through together. Thanks. Thank you. In closing, I just want to again thank Mary and the San Francisco Business Times. I want to give a shout out to the Larkin Street Board of Directors who are here tonight, both the regular board and the honorary board. I want to give a shout out to the staff. Everybody give a round of applause to the staff. The development staff, our regular staff, everybody has done an incredible job. I want to give a shout out to our co-chairs for the event, John Viola and Alex Smith, and all of the committee members who made this happen. Another shout out for Xander. You're going to hear from Zame soon. And I just really, once again, want to thank or congratulate all of the finalists for your amazing accomplishments. We are so happy to be here tonight to celebrate you. And a big shout out for, of course, Mark Hawkins for the Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you. And now it is my super pleasure to bring to the stage Darius Miranda of Wells Fargo. Darius.
Do I look smarter now? Okay. Thank you, Sherilyn. I am impressed with you and your team's passion and dedication. It takes a tenacious leader to keep everything moving in the right direction, so let's hear it one more time for Sherilyn. First, I want to thank Denise for asking me to speak at this event, and I'm going to go a little off script, just a little warning. Okay. And a thank you to Table 4 for Wells Fargo. Some current best friends and some new best friends, including Gail from Larkin Street Youth. So thank you, Gail. So hi, everyone. My name is Darius Miranda. I am a strategy consultant and with Wells Fargo's Corporate Properties Group. So one of my jobs is to bring people back to the office, which is not an easy task. But I have the distinct honor of introducing our youth speaker. Wells Fargo is a longtime sponsor and supporter of Larkin Street Youth Services, providing funding for more than a decade. Recently, the company was ranked number 5 on the San Francisco Business Times list of top 100 Bay Area corporate philanthropists. So tonight, we are pleased to serve as the mobile giving sponsor, enabling you all to support more young people. And as esteemed CFOs and senior leaders in the room, I ask that you will continue to encourage your colleagues at every level to get involved with a local nonprofit, hopefully a nonprofit like Larkin Street Youth Services, and take advantage of corporate matches when possible. I can't express enough how meaningful those extra match dollars are in making a difference for these young people. Without the generosity of local businesses and decision makers like you that drive them, it wouldn't be possible for organizations like Larkin Street to help people like Zame, the incredible young person you were about to hear from. So, my niece is 24 years old. She graduated from UC Irvine last year, and she said she's interviewing for jobs. And she said the hardest question she got was, what do you stand for? So she asked me, Uncle D, what do you stand for? I'm like, girl, that's a hard question. If you asked me that 5 years ago, I probably had a good answer for you. After COVID, I think it's time to reinvent myself and think about that. But having been introduced to Zame, the person you're going to hear from, and thinking about what I could do after COVID, I think it's a good question for all of us to think about. I'm going to ask you guys now, this is where I go off script, and people watching virtually, what do you stand for? And as you listen to Zame and she tells her story, I think it's a great question. So we are all dealt a hand in life, but it's what you do with those cards that's important, right? Zame Jacobs is driven by advocacy and being a catalyst for change. And as a former foster youth, she is passionate about advocating for the livelihood of current and former foster youth. She recently served as a co-chair of Larkin Street Youth's advisory board. Zame holds a double BA in Communications and Africana Studies from San Francisco State University. During her time there, she served as the Guardian Scholars Ambassador and as the first Vice President of Social Justice and Equity for Associated Students. Zame is dedicated to further supporting underserved communities and uplifting the stories that inspire, transform, and reimagine how our society views foster youth. So the question I asked you is, what do you stand for? And as you listen to her story, think about that. And I ask you now to please stand and join me in a warm welcome for tonight's youth speaker, Zame Jacobs.
Hello everyone, my name is Zame Jacobs, also known as Amazing Zame or Slay Z, she, her, queen is my pronouns, yes. I'm just waiting on my paper. Thank you. Y'all look really lovely tonight, and thank you for being here and supporting Larkin Street. And I'm a client currently, so all help is needed and all help is welcomed. So yeah. Thank you, Darius. I graduated from SF State in May 2020 at the height of the pandemic. Everyone says you gotta have a job out of college, you have to have a plan, something set up. But the pressure was like tenfold because of the pandemic. Everyone's getting laid off. I applied to all these positions, but no one was equipped to do the virtual internship. As an emancipated foster youth, I was apprehensive about moving off campus for the first time. My case manager at SF State referred me to Larkin Street. She worked with the staff, and they made my move hassle-free. But living somewhere new on my own for the first time during COVID was scary. The only sanctuary I had was my room, big and spacious, with pictures of 90s rappers plastered on the wall. My roommate was an essential worker, and our elderly neighbor from the first floor had a horrid cough. I was overwhelmed by isolation, sadness, and uncertainty. I could not help but think of other youth in my situation or worse. I turned my Larkin Street case manager. I was interested in advocacy. I wanted to learn how nonprofits spend their funds and about local housing policy. This March, I joined Larkin Street Youth Advisory Board, a group of task-oriented, advocacy-driven clients who are passionate about ending youth homelessness in San Francisco. Our first event was about Prop C. The city had all this money to tackle homelessness, so we wanted to have a conversation about how the funds could be best used Youth in the city to have a conversation of, youth in the city are in need of well-rounded services. Our advocacy led Governor Newsom to increase funds to address youth homelessness across the state after decades of underinvestment. Next, we organized an event for COVID-19 information and testing. Clients left feeling less skeptical and more empowered with the facts and statistics about the rollout of the vaccine. Our biggest project has been advocating for a client or alumni seat on Larkin Street Board of Directors. We want voice, representation, and power in decisions about our livelihoods. I have learned so much from my peers, Alexandria, Chance, Roxy, Precious, Xander, Aiden, Ray, Terrell, and Jakari. They have so much insight on things like generational homelessness, trauma-informed services, and harm reduction, terms I never really heard before. It feels like I'm in the room with members of the Black Panther Party, doing grassroots altruism, community involvement, and youth-led advocacy. That's how revolutionary they are. This is what the moment calls for. We are the first group of youth surviving a global pandemic. Our goal is to come up with solutions right now when they are needed most. Our attitude is don't talk about it, be about it. Last December, I applied to a paid internship at KQED. 2 days after the last interview, I got a call, you're hired. It really affirmed me, and it proved that everything I've been working for was worth it. My internship ends this year. I want to work on content at a tech company and advocate to make it an inclusive, diverse environment. My resume is available upon request. Being on the Youth Advisory Board at Larkin Street has opened my mind. When I look around, I know the future is going to be fruitful. Because of the youth that are inspiring me are going to be the next leaders and influencers. Our voices in public comment will be heard, and they will be impactful. The impact does not end here. It's a continuous effort. It's a commitment. Your investment tonight and youth like me confirm our shared humanity and reinforces our efforts to end youth homelessness. Thank you.
That was brilliant. I think we need another round of applause. I have to say, Zamay, that was, like, what do you stand for? Well, I stand for Zamay, right? Like, that was amazing. She is amazing. I have spent some time with the Youth Advisory Board, and I have to say that I have learned so much from each and every one of them, and they are making Larkin Street better. They're going to make the board better, and they're going to make the whole world better, right? I'm so struck by the comments. They're the first generation, like the pandemic, the first young people to go, like, obviously go through a pandemic, and they are going to lead us out of it, right? Because they did a lot of stuff. I'm not supposed to swear. My daughter will make me put money in the swear jar. They did so much work over in the pandemic. She's not kidding. They got money at the state. They got an 8% set aside out of a $1 billion investment to buy housing for young people in the state. They did that. There's no stopping Zame, there's no stopping Xander, there's no stopping any of them. We're all better because of it. All right, so now, good news, is your chance. This is John Viola, the event chair, co-chair. This is your opportunity to pull out your phones, to help support young people at Larkin Street. It's your chance to give. I know you've all given already, but we're going to just ask you to give again so that we can support young people in housing, in education, in employment, so we can have more youth leadership activities at the organization. So John's going to talk for a minute, and then I'm going to tell you the how.
I'm going to talk for 30 seconds. So first of all, how many men here tonight were happy they got that top button buttoned? And how many women right now are in high heels going, man, I can't wait to get my Rothy's and Allbirds when I get home? So here's the great news about this event, folks. We're about to celebrate these overachieving, fantastic CFOs in the Bay Area. But the beauty of this event is there's a little juxtaposition of, let's talk about Larkin Street as well. Let's talk about those kids that did not have the support structure that everybody in this room had. Think about the people that pulled you up, your mentors, your parents, teachers, college professors, whatever it is. Tonight, for the next 5 minutes, and I promise you it's 5 minutes, we're going to do a quick round of fundraising for Larkin Street. And I'm just going to ask you, think about the last year. Think about the S&P 500 and where it was a year ago and where it is today. That is what we're going to lead into tonight. So Sherilyn, you want to talk about how we do that?
Yes, we do that. You're going to pull out your phones. You don't usually get to do that in an event. You get to do it now. You are going to text if you want. There are 3 ways that you can participate. You can text, I'm going to find the number right now, to 56651. You can put in Larkin Street, and then you all know how to do this. You just follow the prompts. It's not case sensitive. You don't have to worry about decimals. Or, wait, what? No, you don't have to worry about anything. I can't see that, so I have no idea what it says. You can also, handily, on your tables is a card that has a QR code on it if you want to donate some stock. You can do that tonight. So easy. I know, we're great, aren't we? So advanced. You can also, if you like to write checks, you can use the yellow card to fill out information and do checks or donor advised funds. So you got lots of ways to give. And that is great. And we're going to start, I think. John and I have no visibility into this.
Yeah, we can't see anything. Here's the good news. We can't see that, but we can see you. And we're looking at you. Yes, think about stocks and whatnot. So guys, it is simple to get on your phone, make a quick text. That's your donation. It doesn't immediately hit a bank account. It's just there will be a follow-up for it. But what we're looking for, we usually set a goal for the night. Something, very reasonable, like $50,000. Just to boom, everyone hits their phones, we raise a little money for Larkin, and then we kick off our event and celebrate these fantastic CFOs. So I don't know, and this is bad for me to say, I can't see the screen. Do we have a thermometer this year?
Yeah.
We don't have a thermometer?
Oh, it's coming.
Are we getting a thermometer? Because we had a thermometer and you can see the money going up.
All right, everybody you all know how to do
Hold
this.
on.
5, 6, 6, 5, 1.
Actually, does this...
Okay, here it comes.
Hold on. Does this work? Is this thing on? Hold on. Hold on. Does this work? Is this on? All right, somebody give us there you go, we're done. All right, everybody go home. You guys, that's fantastic. Please continue, and this is new this year as well. This new this year with the stock, if you'd like to. I gotta tell you, that was the fastest. I usually get up here and jabber a little bit, but I don't have to jabber right now. That's fantastic, thank you. So continue with your texts. Guys, here's the fun part. If you were sitting there and going, the stock market has been great. I'm at Salesforce and my stock's up a lot. B of A, you're up 35% this year, I checked. It's a quick donation, whatever works for you. If $5,000 works for you, awesome, God bless you for that. If $25 works for you, thank you. Whatever works for you, because what we're about to transition into is this fantastic celebration of fantastic folks. And now I lost my thermometer. Here's the good news. The thermometer already went past our goal. So I don't know, Sherilyn, you want to dance? We can dance or do something else. But guys, thank you. I'm going to tell you. All right, here's the good news. I think we're a little bit behind. I will just say thank you very quickly. We're going to watch the thermometer. We'll come back later to let you know what that number was. If you're on your phone, please continue on your phone. And thank you very much, Sherilyn. I think Yeah, smoke them if you got them. Okay.
Obviously, we practice this a lot, and we're really good at it. You have a little bit of time to talk with your people at the table and have some food, and then we're going to start the show right away. I think that's what we're doing, or we're doing something different. Oh, if you have cards, give them to the volunteers. So a few minutes to chat amongst yourselves, and then we'll start the program and start celebrating our finalists. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Good evening. My name is Enisha Stringer, and I am the Senior Marketing Communications Manager for Larkin Street Youth Services. And this evening, we have the pleasure of speaking with Mary Huss, publisher and president of the San Francisco Business Times and the Silicon Valley Business Journal. Thank you for being with us today, Mary.
Well, Anisha, thank you. I'm so excited that this is the 15th anniversary of the Bay Area CFO Awards. And it's great to be able to have this conversation with you.
Thank you. Yes, the CFO Awards has been around for quite a while now. And I understand that you were instrumental in that collaborative decision to highlight CFOs.
Yes, well, I remember it so well. And we have to acknowledge Mary Purhall and Steve Kermsey, who were board members back then and really kind of the big visionaries that came to me at the Business Times with an idea. I knew of a successful CFO Awards program that intrigued me that another business journal had done quite successfully. And I felt there was a strong tie to that sort of financial world, the whole selection process, all very first class, honoring these unsung heroes. And we went to our first sponsor, who is still Deloitte. Steve and Mary, just I credit them and the whole Larkin Street team for making it go. And it's been a real partnership. The thing that I think makes me the happiest of so many things, the happiest is the good that it's done for Larkin and the money raised and just the visibility. Separately, how it's connected and forged stronger corporate relationships, brought these wonderful CFOs, all this recognition, but also brought them into being supporters and you know, they're kind of hooked on Larkin Street.
Thank you so much, Mary. Can you share with us some insights about how you managed to pivot in an ever-changing environment?
Well, it is ever changing. And so I think you have to start with actually not only being comfortable with change, but actually kind of loving it. I mean, embracing it, let's say. And then you have to work to get your team comfortable with change. Not everyone is. You know, you've got people who like to be methodical and just kind of one step before the next step. And you have people who kind of live in the future more so. I would say I'm a little bit more of that. Let's take what just happened over the last 18 plus months, you know, with COVID. I think keep calm and carry on is the advice of the day. And when you hit change or a bump in the road, an obstacle, I think you just have to kind of calmly get right there, one with it, you know, and don't let it stop you. Figure out what's on the other side of it and helping those on your team to see that too. And the really important thing is to deal with each person as an individual and kind of the team as a group. Not everybody has the same thinking process or relationship to obstacles. It comes to creating a safe environment to make mistakes. By example, if I'm responding to something that seems like an obstacle with my keep calm and carry on, and just jumping to what's the solution. I think that helps others feel safe to do it.
That sounds fantastic. And it really reminds me of the way our youth are able to develop a foundation and move past their obstacles here at Larkin Street Youth Services. They are able to be creative in their circumstances. They're able to find resources for themselves, and they're able to make beautiful things out of hardship. And then they're able to advocate for themselves and their peers. And so, as someone who has been supporter of Larkin Street for so many years, can you share with us why you continue to invest in Larkin Street Youth?
It's all about what's possible and helping people see beyond their limitations that they think are there, helping them to feel that joy of achieving something that's beyond what they thought they could do. Larkin Street takes 3 out of 4. I read the statistics of the young people who go through the program actually are moved off the streets. And that potential in young people, that is just so great. And we capture it at Larkin Street. It's captured and caught young and when they're still in the real realm of the possible. So what I love about Larkin Street is it does tap into that possibility. And it has such a great success record. And, the stories of transformation are just so many and so great. We are bringing out that human potential.
I love that. The realm of possibility, the realm of potential. This is the perfect opportunity for us to capture all of that in youth who may have had challenges that have challenged their hope. But we as an organization, as a community, can hand that back to them with funding and financial resources and support so that they have a foundation. And who knows what they're going to be building in these next few years. So we are very excited about that and very appreciative of your support of Larkin Street Youth Services over these many years.
Thanks to the services provided by Larkin, I was able to carve out a path to success. You've been very successful. Can you share a pivotal time when getting support allowed you to move to the next level and thrive?
I definitely can. Thank you, first of all, for having me here tonight. This is a wonderful organization in helping our youth. I'm so supportive of that. One thing that really helped me, I was 18 years old, and I got a scholarship to go to Michigan State. I was one of 5 children. I would have never been able to go without that scholarship. I worked nights for 4 years and went to school with that scholarship, and that opened the door. So I could not be more grateful for people who invested in education.
Definitely, Larkin does have opportunities for folks learning and needing school support.
Yeah, I think it's tremendous what Larkin's doing. I think that people in the community, the more they know, the more I think they'll want to support Larkin. Who doesn't need help? We all stand on the shoulders of other people who have helped us, and I think it's our obligation to help as well.
Thank you for investing in young folks like me to break down barriers that hold back our community. From your experience, how do you know when something or someone is a great investment?
Well, that's a great question. I think we always end up having to take time to get to know people, to understand them, to understand what's important to them and what motivates them. And I think everybody is a great investment. We just need that time. Everybody, I think, deserves that chance and wants that chance. And if you can connect and interact and be genuine, I think you can always find that there's a connection point and a way to find something good together. So really important to just be genuine and treat people like people, right?
I'm so grateful to be here today, not as a client in need of service, but as a service provider giving back to the community that sustained me when I needed it. Will you share some of your experiences and motivations for giving back?
Well, absolutely, and thank you for all you do. I would say most of the people that are here are incredibly fortunate and blessed in the roles that they have, and honestly, we have an obligation to help those that need it. In fact, like for our company, we have interns that come in oftentimes to help us with our products. These are people that might not have experience in doing exactly what they're doing for us, but they have passion and they really want to try to help. Everyone needs to be able to do that. If you can give some opportunities to people that really need it, haven't had a chance to do that, that's exactly what we all need to be doing.
I completely understand that. If it wasn't for my internships this summer, I wouldn't have the opportunity to speak with you today.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate everything you guys do, and keep doing all the great work.
I look forward to hearing more about you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much.
I'm not afraid to speak my mind if it gets us one step closer to ending youth homelessness. Can you share some of the ways you have been the one to speak up in board meetings, events, to shed light on this problem, and how we can solve it here in San Francisco?
That's a great question. This is something that we're going through right now with my board and my staff and my senior leadership team. We're going through a diversity, equity, and inclusion process and really examining what is important in this city. And we recognize that homelessness and mental health issues and really addressing racism are probably the key challenges that we have to address as a society. And so the Academy is really proud to be dealing with this through our new strategic initiatives, where we're going to be partnering with indigenous communities and local communities to try to solve some of the biggest problems facing the issues between nature and humans.
That really means a lot to me. One of our subjects in YAB was actually discussing how we can get folks with lived experiences on all levels of management and running organizations. So hearing that actually shows that progress is worth it.
Absolutely. One of the things that the Academy does is we have a really robust volunteer program right now where we are inviting youth and school groups to come to the Academy and actually participate in beautifying the grounds around the facility. And it does a couple of things. One, it gets the youth really ingrained in the community, gets them to feel a sense of ownership. And also what it does at the same time is it teaches them horticulture, and it teaches them the importance of having this connection between nature and humans. And we think that if our youth of today, who are going to be our leaders of tomorrow, can feel a sense of ownership in the community, that they're going to want to be better leaders in the future.
Thank you for so much, and thank you for sharing your story. I really appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Okay, you're good. Like myself, many youth in San Francisco experience generational homelessness. We're grateful for the opportunity to work with business community leaders and build economic opportunities for all that empower all. How do you think we can best harvest youth talent to build a thriving community here in San Francisco?
Well, it sounds obvious, but the youth of today are the leaders of tomorrow, and so it's really important that we give them the kind of the tools and capabilities so that they can kind of grow and develop into those leaders. And so those are skills, whether they're tech skills or even non-tech skills, just leadership skills, organizational skills, the things that they make them really successful. One of the areas, I'm the CFO of Airbnb, and one of the things that we've been supporting is another group, in addition to Larkin Street Youth Services, has been Year Up. And Year Up develops a lot of the skills and training capabilities for youth so that they can come into the workforce and do some amazing work in the future. And so I think those are the things that we can kind of do as companies, is help give them those skills and experiences for them to grow.
That's really exciting. I've actually gotten to participate in a lot of workforce development skills, so I really appreciate that you have that as an opportunity for youth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's super important, and I think if we invest in the youth now, they're going to grow and develop over time, and then hopefully they'll continue to give back and they'll pass the baton on to the next generation.
I completely agree with that. YAB's motto is actually nothing with us without us. So anytime any portion of youth homelessness is mentioned, YAB wants to be a center of that focus.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much. Take care.
I'm so grateful to be here today, not as a client in need of assistance, but as a service provider giving back to the community that sustained me. Will you share some of your experiences and motivation for giving back to the community?
We're members of the community, and we have employees here, and we live here, and I, for one, have been really active in educational programs in particular. I think education is one of the single biggest things where we can unlock the potential of young people, especially in the community, and I think as a member, it's really important that we give back and that we give back all the things that we take from the city, and so to me, it's just a really, really important dynamic.
I completely understand that. I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you for having us, and we'll do it whatever we can to help out.
Thank you so much. Thank you for investing in young folks like me to break down barriers that hold back our community. From your experience, how do you know when something or someone is a great investment?
From my experience, you measure the return, and I can tell you from experience that when you give someone a chance to do something different and see things that they haven't seen before, generally people rise to that occasion, and I have seen that investment pay off numerous times.
I really appreciate hearing that. I come from a community where we have to get those investments in order to thrive.
I know, and it's important that we continue to invest in the Larkin Street Youth Services.
I look forward to hearing more from you. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Xander. Appreciate it.
Distinguished guests, may we have your attention? The program will resume shortly. Please welcome to the stage John Viola, event co-chair and member of the Larkin Street Board of Directors.
Thank you for whoever was clapping. I appreciate it. Hey guys, we take our seats, and for you on the live stream, do whatever you're doing. Hey guys, here's the deal. We're about to start the awards ceremony. The reason we're here to celebrate these great CFOs. I do have to tell you that there's a reason that the thermometer blasted past red as quickly as it did, and that's because the person that we're here to honor for lifetime achievement, Mr. Hawkins, happened to seed the pot. So every year that takes a long time. So Mark, thank you. There was a nice seed the pot there on the gift. So we're a little bit behind. I'm not going to take up a lot of time. And you know, I'm not a deadhead, but what a long, strange trip it's been. If you think about the past 18 months, and I love this event. I love what we do for Larkin Street. I love celebrating CFOs in the business community and bringing those two things together. But this was really rough. And so instead of giving you a 5-minute speech, I'm going to give you a 1-minute bunch of thank yous. Here's the first big thank you. Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, and Pfizer, thank you for letting us be here. That's important stuff. Another big thank you. Last year, for our sponsors, God bless you. We, as you know, we weren't here last year, okay? And all of our sponsors to a one said, that's not a sponsorship, Larkin, that's a donation. That was incredibly generous. So to our sponsors, thank you. Of course, to everyone, anybody here that has a Larkin Street card or works at Larkin Street, for what you did through COVID. While we were at home on Zooms together in the business world, they were here, they were live every day. So thank you for everything you're doing. All right, I've got one more big thank you. Where's Heather Ripley? Where's Heather? Where? All right, I can't see light. Heather Ripley this is her last CFO of the Year event. She's leaving Larkin. I run this event with Alex Smith. It's Heather that runs this thing. We just show up in a suit and tie. So Heather, thank you for all your help. I still can't see her because I got lights, but a huge hand for Heather, please. All right, guys, I could thank everybody here, but a big thanks also to, I'm gonna say Mark Hawkins too much tonight, I don't care, but in doing this event, I called Mark December 2019 and said, hey man, congratulations, you're the lifetime winner. Boom, he said, great, I'm in. I was like, perfect, we got Mark Hawkins in, our lifetime winner, we're ready to go. And then COVID hit. So I sent Mark an email, hey buddy, sorry, we're gonna push this out, are you okay? 6 months from now, within an hour, John, no problem, I'm in. Awesome, Mark's in, hey everybody, Mark's in, let's go. As you know, with COVID, it didn't go away. So last December, it was, hey Mark, it's me again. We're gonna push down the road again, can you make September 23rd? Within an hour, no problem, I'm there. So Mark, you've been so gracious this whole time. Thank you for everything you've done. All right, so I was sincere and I just went more than a minute. I didn't thank enough people. I could thank 100 people, but I won't because I'd be up too long. We'd get home at midnight. I have a question. Are you ready to start the award ceremony? Okay, hold on. We've all been stuck in our jammies in Zoom. Are you ready to start this event live right now? Then let's start the event.
To present our first award, please welcome Jennifer Parker, Managing Director and Chief Revenue Officer of Commercial Real Estate Digital, J.P. Morgan.
Speaking of getting dressed, I had to work the stairs with these heels. It's been a while. Well, good evening. I'm thrilled to be here. And as a longstanding supporter of Larkin Street Youth Services and a sponsor of this event for 13 years, J.P. Morgan is honored to once again participate in the Bay Area CFO of the Year Awards. On behalf of our Bay Area leadership team and our local employees at J.P. Morgan, we congratulate both the nominees and the award winners. You are exceptional leaders in your field, and we look forward to your continued success. J.P. Morgan has been serving this region for more than 130 years, beginning after the 1906 earthquake, where we donated to the efforts to rebuild San Francisco. More recently, though, we've committed $75 million over 5 years towards collaborating with local business, government, and community leaders to help develop solutions to drive inclusive growth and help create economic opportunity for more people. We've made a $22 million investment to address affordable housing challenges in San Francisco and Oakland, combining long-term, low-cost loans and philanthropy, aiming to provide more affordable housing, aiming to protect local residents from displacement, and leveraging local policy changes to advance affordable housing solutions. We also look forward to the continued innovation of the Bay Area business community, a model of how exemplary partnerships can ensure both our economy and our society continue to grow. With that, I am honored to present the award for Chief Financial Officer of a large public company.
The finalists for this award are Charles Brocker, Grocery Outlet; since 2012, Charles Brocker has been the CFO at Grocery Outlet Incorporated, a high-growth, extreme-value food retailer. He has overseen store expansion from 184 to 400, including into new markets, consistent sales growth averaging 5% per year, and a successful $435 million IPO with the highest file versus offer price of all time for a U.S. discount retailer. With over 25 years of consumer and retail sector experience, he has served in finance roles at Bear Essentials Incorporated, the Gymboree Corporation, and Arnold Palmer Golf Management. Holding a BS in Business Administration from UC Berkeley, Charles lives in Napa with his wife and 3 daughters. John Murphy, Adobe. John Murphy became Executive Vice President and CFO of Adobe in 2018, bringing over 25 years of financial experience to the worldwide finance and operations team. Previously, Adobe's Chief Accounting Officer and Corporate Controller, John has championed both innovation and growth, helping to scale the business and reshape its processes through cutting-edge technology. John has previously worked for Experian, Nestle, Qualcomm, and DirecTV, and holds an MBA from the University of Southern California's Marshall School of Business and a BS in accounting from Fordham University. He sits on the board for Modernism Week and for Encircle, a nonprofit helping at-risk LGBTQ+ youth. Kozama Shipchandler, Twilio. As CFO, Kozama Shipchandler oversees the trust and security teams at Twilio. Educated at Indiana University Bloomington and the University of Chicago Booth School of Business, Kozama brings 20 years of experience in finance to his position, most recently as CFO of GE Digital, a subsidiary of GE. A devoted leader, he brings a unique vision and empathy to his role and views leadership as a responsibility and a test of what one knows and does not know. He spends his downtime with his family, treasuring the great outdoors and time with his son, an active Boy Scout, also describing himself as an avid reader who loves golf, tennis, and skiing.
Okay, I did not cheat, so I'll find out with you all. The winner is Kozama Shipchandler with Twilio.
Well, that is quite an honor. It's Kozama. I'm just a little bit sensitive about the pronunciation of my name. So, first of all, thank you for this award, and honestly, a hearty congratulations to all of the nominees. These last 18 months have been just crazy challenging in, I think, ways not one of us could possibly have imagined, and yet here we are. We've persevered and we've endured unbelievable circumstances in getting to this point in time. And I think the CFO role in particular is one that's continued to evolve, and I count as friends a number of the CFOs that have won this award previously. I know Mark has been mentioned a number of times. It's worth mentioning Mark again. Certainly been a mentor to me. Bill Loesch, Elena have all been great mentors and advisors to me over the years. I'd like to offer just a few kind of special thanks. First of all, I wanted to thank our customers. I mean, none of this happens, obviously. Like, we basically make stuff and then we sell stuff. And it's our customers that allow us to kind of be in business and do the things that we do. Our partners, and I use that word partner very deliberately. I don't consider them vendors, I consider them partners, and I'm talking about my good friend Larry from PwC, Janelle from KPMG, Christina, who I see out there from JPMC. Partnerships matter, and having great business partners has been really important to me. Our communities, obviously we serve our communities in a number of different ways, and I think that's really important, and I think the cause that we're here to support tonight is incredible. And most of all, I would say our employees. All I do really is sit at a desk in my home office and make decisions all day long. It's the hard work of the employees that makes it happen every day. And I'm lucky to be joined by two of our employees today, Tamar and Edith, who are at my table, who do fantastic work in their different domains, and they're the ones that make it happen. It's their work, the overall work of Twilio employees in general. I hope we were using our text messaging services, by the way, when we were doing the donation. And then finally, I just wanted to thank Larkin Street Youth Services, which is just such an important organization at this time. These are troubling times, and I think the work that organization is doing is truly remarkable, and I applaud them for their efforts. So thanks a lot.
Here to present the next award is Lisa Daniels, Managing Partner, Bay Area Market, KPMG LLP.
Working my way across the room there. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. So, on behalf of KPMG, I am so proud to say that we have been a sponsor of this event since day one. And we are thrilled. We're thrilled to be here again tonight to honor this amazing group of CFOs that have really become distinguished leaders in our community, and to continue to support the really crucial work that Larkin Street is doing. My KPMG colleagues and I get to work with so many of these CFOs, and I think you'll all agree they're amazing, right? So with that, let's get to it. I would like to present the award of CFO of the Year to small to medium-sized public company.
The finalists for this award are Paul Oville, Proofpoint. Paul Oville brings 20 years of experience to his current position as CFO of Proofpoint. Previously, he has worked at Benchmark Capital, VMware, Vitria Technology Incorporated, and VLSI Technology. He holds a Bachelor in Engineering degree from Dartmouth College and a Master of Management degree from the Kellogg Graduate School of Management at Northwestern University. He has instilled a culture of giving back at Proofpoint by encouraging employees to volunteer in their communities and running philanthropic events, and by personally overseeing Proofpoint's internship program. Oville holds the patent on an on-chip data bus in the United States and patents in digital video compression in Japan. Drew Hamer, Velodyne LiDAR. Drew Hamer holds a Bachelor of Science in Accounting degree from Binghamton University and a Master of Accounting degree from Florida International University. A member of Financial Executives International and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, he joined Velodyne LiDAR in 2019 and has over 25 years of experience expanding financial and business operations for his companies worldwide, both organically and through acquisitions. Drew believes leaders bring out the best in the people around them and is excited about the future of LiDAR technology. He enjoys sharing a glass of wine with his wife and watching his children's sporting events. Sandeep Nayar, Power Integrations. Sandeep Nayar began his career in India and re-established himself at Ernst & Young upon emigrating to the United States. As CFO, he has raised profitability at Power Integrations by 400%, while operating cash flows have more than doubled. Experienced in M&A from his time at Quantum and Applied Biosystems, he has completed 4 such transactions for Power Integrations, including acquisitions of Cambridge Semiconductor and CT Concept. In his role managing human resources, he has increased headcount by 75% and maintained low turnover with an above-market benefits package. Sandeep and his family cultivate a large social circle and support the Delhi-based Amar Jyoti Charitable Foundation. He loves karaoke, golf, and tennis.
I don't know, wine and karaoke, those are all pretty good. So let's see, the winner is Paul Avil of Proofpoint. Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, this is a great welcome, but I'm not Paul. I am Alex Smith. I am co-chair of this event, and I'm accepting this award on Paul's behalf. He could not be here with us in person, but I understand that he is watching on the live stream. So, Paul, we're bringing this home to you. So let's hear it for him.
Here to present the next award is Karen Warren, District President Robert Half.
All right, good evening, everyone. Well, it's a pleasure to be here celebrating all of our courageous CEOs and supporting Larkin Street Youth Services. Robert Half is honored to have supported the CEO of the Year Award for the past 15 years, bringing the finance community together to raise millions of dollars to end youth homelessness in San Francisco. The success of any early stage business is critically dependent on its first leaders. Skillful financial leadership is crucial in navigating these uncertain times. Tonight, I'm pleased to recognize the accomplishments of CFOs who have made significant contributions to their company's growth. On behalf of Robert Half, it is an honor to present the CFO Year Award, Emerging Company.
The finalists for this award are Rex Jackson, ChargePoint. Rex Jackson leads the finance, legal, HR, and facilities departments at ChargePoint, where he has completed a recent merger and successful IPO. Originally an attorney with a Juris Doctorate from Stanford University, Jackson has held senior executive positions at companies like Broadcom, Synopsys, AdForce, and ReadWrite, has served on the board at Energous, and currently sits on the board at Signal Optics Innovator MCore. He has also filled CFO roles at Gigamon, Rocket Fuel, JDSU, and Cimix. Happily married for 31 years with 3 children, Rex studied English and political science at Duke University and takes after his father, a voracious acquirer of knowledge. Adriel Dares, Fastly. Adriel Dares lives by the motto of his family-owned winery, Memento Mori, Remember You Will Live. He views his position as CFO at Fastly as one of guidance and not gatekeeping, conveying information to help stakeholders make bold decisions. An active Stanford alumnus since earning his BA in economics, Dares has been CFO at Lookout Incorporated and been treasurer, business unit manager, director of finance, and CFO for 3PAR Incorporated. Adriel works with Stanley House through the UCSF Benioff Hospital to help families undergoing chemotherapy. He has twins and a 3-year-old boy whom he calls Angel Investments and a follow-up opportunity. Alan Stewart, ShotSpotter. Alan Stewart has been Chief Financial Officer at ShotSpotter Incorporated since 2017. After overseeing their IPO, he has grown revenues for the first half of the year by 36% to $30 million and helped acquire leads. Stewart has led ShotSpotter in combating rhino poaching in South Africa and reducing blast fishing off the South Asian coral reef. He believes in the company's mission to increase safety in underserved communities and is currently providing free mentoring to 2 young entrepreneurs. With a BA in science from the U.S. Naval Academy, he has served on the submarines USS Kamehameha and USS Louisville. He and his wife, a paralegal, are active in their church.
Well, all three are very deserving, but I'm going to read one name. And the CFO of the Year Award for Emerging Company goes to Adrielle Laresse. Fastly. Congratulations.
Thank you. First and foremost, I think I need to thank Mark Hawkins, because if I don't, I'll have some fruit cups thrown at me. I'm kidding, but not kidding. Actually, Mark, thank you. You've been a great mentor to many other CFOs. Also, for those who may or may not know, this is Latinx Hispanic Heritage Month. Big shout outs to Elena Gomez, who's a former winner. As a son of immigrants from Mexico, it's a huge honor for me just to be in a position like this, to be able to serve the people that I've been able to serve. Clearly, a lot of this is related to the work I did at Fastly, and so on behalf of the fellow nominees, thank you, and I'm sure you all thank all of your team members who helped you get to where you are today. And so just really, really thankful to be here. And also, I'm so glad that we actually be able to bring attention to organizations like Larkin Street. I was introduced to Larkin Street a number of years ago, and still today, I'm just super excited about what they do. And just imagine the idea of just being able to celebrate in person. And I can imagine for all the youth who are able to participate here, just the sheer energy of being here in person, it really does, I think, mean a lot to them, to the organization. And so thank you to Larkin Street. Everything you do is just so, so critical. So thank you all. Appreciate it.
To present the next award, please welcome Alex Smith, Partner and Managing Director, Crescent Capital and Event Committee Co-Chair.
The welcome for Paul was a little bit better, but I'll take it. Hi again. Alex Smith here, co-chair of this event, the CFO of the Year Awards with John Viola, and a longtime supporter of Larkin Street Youth Services. I'm pleased to have the honor to present the award for nonprofit organization. As a leading Bay Area nonprofit for over the past 3 decades, Larkin Street knows what it takes to make a difference as they help ensure 3 out of 4 young people that complete their programs exit street life for good. And since we know that CFOs value accounting discipline, I would like to point out that Larkin Street stays financially efficient with overhead in the 15 to 20% range. This means that 80 to 85% of all dollars raised go directly to supporting Larkin Street programs across housing, education, and employment. The honorees in this category are also making efficient and impactful differences in their local community while leading strategically and pursuing unique business models. Here are the finalists for CFO of the Year for a nonprofit organization.
The finalists for this award are Tony Duong, Health Right 360. Tony Duong was always drawn to work for underserved communities. With a BA in Business Administration from Golden Gate University, he rose from an intern at the Asian American Recovery Center to interim executive director and oversaw its merger with Health Right 360 in 2013. As CFO, Tony has led Health Right through 6 mergers, grown the budget every year, and refinanced $50 million in debt with the first ever issuance of U.S. municipal social bonds to a nonprofit. In 2017, Tony helped open the flagship Integrated Care Center, 50,000 square feet of healthcare services in the heart of San Francisco. Aside from work, his wife and 3 children are his world. Jared Liederman, DRK Foundation. The Draper Richards Kaplan Foundation hired Jared Lederman as its first full-time head of finance and operations in 2015. Since then, he has advised over 75% of DRK's 180-plus portfolio organizations, created tax and legal structures for its Dutch sister foundation, and served as a board member for 2 grantees. A mediator and facilitator from an early age, Jared has advised the chief prosecutor for the International Criminal Court, facilitated reconciliation efforts in northern Uganda, and now trains new mediators at Harvard Law School. He holds an MBA from the Harvard Kennedy School of Government. Currently on sabbatical, he lives in Berkeley with his wife Emily and their 2 children. Mike McGee, California Academy of Sciences. In his first 6 months with the California Academy of Sciences, Mike McGee enacted comprehensive spending reductions to produce the first surplus in several years. He also developed a 5-year financial plan and shortened the budget process from 3 months to 3 weeks, then reduced annual insurance costs by 25%. He has previously worked at Disney, where he supervised the construction of the California Adventure theme park and helped sell the Ducks hockey team, and for the Discovery Science Center, where he was recognized by the Orange County Business Journal CFO of the Year in the not-for-profit category in 2015. He shares his passion for building model rockets with his children, ages 18 and 21.
All right. And the winner for CFO of the Year for Nonprofit Organization, Tony Duong, Health Rights 360.
Thank you. Thank you. This is really an honor to be here. First, I want to thank the selection panel. I think this is just a wonderful event. San Francisco Business Times, and also big congratulations to Larkin Street Youth just for this, putting on this event just in this challenging environment. I also want to recognize Health Right 360, which is the organization that I have the privilege of working as the CFO for, just the colleagues, as well as just the volunteer board members, as particularly the finance committee that has really kind of lent their expertise and their times over so many years and through challenging times as a nonprofit as well. So I would want to also say that there's a big need in the nonprofits, I think, for the nonprofit sector. We couldn't do this work without partners, community partners, corporate partners, as everybody in this room knows, right? So organizations like Larkin Street Youth, as well as Health Right 360, we operate on thin margins. I know CFOs in this room kind of have a unique perspective on that. And I think oftentimes for nonprofits, it's hard to measure a return on investment. So the ROI is just difficult to imagine, but for Larkin Street Youth, as well as for Health Right 360, for every dollar that's invested, there's savings of somewhere between $8 to $10 and sometimes more of downstream costs that's really kind of reinvested back in community through increased productivity or just savings in other systems. So I think this is critically important for the work. Events like this, I think Health Right 360, as well as Larkin Street Youth, we strive to do our best with low overhead and just kind of thin margins, but events like this are really critical for us to kind of continue the work that we do. So I want to thank everybody in this room, as well as the organizations, particularly Larkin Street Youth, for the work that you're doing.
And now, to present the next award, Bambo Obero, partner at Weil, Gottschall and Mangus, and Larkin Street board member.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here with you all. Non-public companies are key drivers of our economy, from small organizations with a few employees to multi-billion-dollar companies with thousands of employees and customers. The operational challenges that these non-public companies are daunting, but top-notch CFOs like our finalists tonight have shown that they have the skills to be successful regardless of circumstances. As a proud new board member of Larkin Street Youth Services, I am honored to present the award for CFO of the Year for a non-public company.
The finalists for this award are Mona Heffernan, One Workplace. Before becoming CFO of One Workplace in 2017, Mona Heffernan gained finance, operations, and management experience from Ball Corporation and Caterpillar Incorporated, and at Delmonico Foods. She has spent extensive time in China, restructuring an acquisition in Hong Kong, before coming to the mainland years later to open a campus of 5 manufacturing facilities projected to generate $1 billion annually. She has helped One Workplace grow organically and through acquisitions, supporting lean initiatives while expanding benefit plans. Mona loves international travel with her family, with whom she has shared her passion for Rugby Sevens competition. Citing her experience in the beverage industry, she believes in cans, not cannots. Chris Newman, Rodan and Fields. Chris Newman has been instrumental to the significant growth momentum at Rodan and Fields. With more than 25 years of finance and operations experience leading high-performing teams, he oversees 300 people in the accounting and finance departments, where he has implemented a liquidity event for founders, revamped forecasting mechanisms, and changed the company's business model to meet a more competitive market after 11 years. He also serves as COO, ironing out inefficiencies in supply chain management, and manages the IT department, which successfully relaunched the Rodan and Fields website. Chris and his wife recently celebrated their 30th anniversary and have 3 grown children and a dog he's nicknamed Velcro. Jack Sexton, ALOM. Hailing from Connecticut, Jack Sexton is CFO of ALOM Technologies Corporation, having filled a similar position at French oilfield services company Schlumberger Limited, where he also spun off and sold a successful company. He considers his work at ALOM his proudest accomplishment. He has helped to expand operations to new facilities in California and Indianapolis, and grown the customer base, nearly tripling the business since 2017, and being instrumental to the company's long-term growth. Married with 2 children, Jack's hobbies include racquetball, skiing, and golf. He is grateful for a career that has taken him to France, Austria, and England, and still travels whenever possible.
And the award for CFO of the Year for a non-public company goes to Mona Heffernan, One Workplace.
Well, after taking a couple of companies to go paperless, I felt the need to put my notes on my phone. So I want to start off by thanking some people, of course, and first and foremost, my parents, who I think hopefully are watching on the live stream. So thanks, Mom and Dad, for always believing in me. I also have to thank my children. As mentioned, I moved a lot during my career all over the country and internationally, and I traveled a lot. My kids went everywhere with me, and so I appreciate them moving every 2 years, whether they liked it or not. Believing in family, I have to thank the One Workplace family who's here with me today. They are a great family and a great business, and so I'm so fortunate to be here with all of them. Thank you for attending. And thank you to the Larkin Street Youth Services for all that they do and being a part of this event, and the San Francisco Business Times and the selection panel, as elusive as they sound. I also want to thank again just all of my teammates and business partners, including Comerica, who's here today. So with all of those people, I realize how much I have to be thankful for. And I know how fortunate I am and that not everybody is in that category. There's 1,100 young people in San Francisco with no safe, reliable place to sleep. And at One Workplace, we really believe in spaces, and there's no place more important than a home. And so to all of them, it's great that there's organizations and people like all of you to help them find that place. For every dollar that's invested, and we saw that there's a lot of dollars that got out there, it's estimated that we get $8 in social benefits back. Doesn't take a CFO to realize that's a great return. So thanks to all of you. Supporting the communities we live and work in has always been very important to One Workplace. We are very proud to say that we have helped over 50 nonprofits this year alone on making a direct impact by providing food, shelter, and dignity to the homeless and families in need, opportunities for students in need, and we support those challenged by illness and disease. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is very important to us and are supported in our community efforts. So tonight we are focusing on one amazing organization, and that is the Larkin Street Youth Services. We've heard a lot about them tonight, but one thing I think we didn't hear is that 3 out of 4 of the youth who complete Larkin Street's housing program exit street life, and that's an amazing accomplishment. Thank you. Yep. Thank you for helping me.
Presenting the next award is Catherine Fu, Director of Research Innovation, Invite, and Larkin Street Board Member.
Good evening. I'm honored to present the final award before we get to the Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm Kat Fu, a longtime supporter and board member at Larkin Street Youth Services. The award for Transformation Agent speaks to the good work that these finalists do in addition to their regular day jobs. It recognizes a CFO of a public or private company who has broken through the traditional boundaries of finance in contributing to a significant transaction, transformation, or turnaround of his or her company. I am pleased to present the CFO of the Year Award for Transformation Agent.
The finalists for this award are Gerard Griffin, Zynga. James Gerard Griffin hails from Galway, Ireland, and attended the College of Galway before obtaining his secondary degree in management in Dublin. That program sent him to New York, where he worked for NBC and Electronic Arts, bringing 30 years of global business experience to Zynga in 2016. Griffin and his team of over 70 financial professionals have driven a successful turnaround with a multi-year growth strategy, raising revenues by 166% and operating cash flow by 600%. Jer remains an avid PC gamer, diehard golfer, and Arsenal supporter, much to the chagrin of his Manchester United-loving father. He met his wife of 22 years in London, and they have a son, 19, and a daughter, 17. Howard Horn, Veer Biotechnology. Howard Horn was a standout baseball player for Princeton until a torn rotator cuff shifted his focus to the family trade, healthcare business and research. He joined Veer Biotechnology as CFO in 2017 and has helped define the company's mission, strategy, and values, rapidly expanded their output, and raised over $1.7 billion through 2 financing rounds and a successful IPO. He takes professional pride in Veer's COVID antibody, sotrovimab, and great personal pride in his daughter, a lacrosse and basketball player, and a son following his footsteps in baseball. Howard and his wife are both runners, and he has completed multiple marathons. David Stevenson, Airbnb. Airbnb went from preparing to go public to survival mode as the COVID-19 pandemic wreaked havoc on the travel and hospitality industries. Having only come aboard in 2019, CFO David Stevenson had to restructure the company, raise $2 billion in debt, and award hosts $250 million to cover cancellations. Airbnb rebounded earlier than anyone expected, and its IPO late last year was one of the most successful in the history of tech. Stevenson believes in mentorship, sponsorship, and allyship, and co-sponsors Airbnb's Women At program. He is an Airbnb host and sometimes guest himself, and loves to ski, travel, and take in concerts with his family.
And the winner is David Stevenson, Airbnb.
Wow, well, I guess I get to be the last speaker of the evening before Mark gets up to speak tonight, but I'm just honored to be here and receive the award. Congratulations to other nominees this evening. The challenges we've had as CFOs over the past year have been immense. We've all gone through different challenges, and to be here today and be able to celebrate all together is just fantastic. I do want to, thank the selection panel. I like the mystery selection panel. We don't know who they are, but I do want to thank them. And obviously, celebrating the Larkin Street Youth Services tonight has just been fantastic. It's incredibly energizing to see the power of what we can all do as a community to kind of support such an important organization. I want to thank the San Francisco Business Times as well. But really, tonight, wouldn't be here without the amazing finance team that I have here at Airbnb. I mean, we're truly a world-class finance organization. I'm so proud to have a number of them join me here at my table this evening. I just thank Ellie Mertz, thank Rachel Bell, thank Theodore Ganeva, thank Claire Yukovic, Renee Jewell, Mirei Yasumatsu, just an amazing finance team. And no, you can't poach any of them. And many of them will be CFOs in the future and will be standing up here one day. So, I never expected to be the CFO of a travel company in the midst of a global pandemic. It's not really what I signed up for. It really has been a transformational experience. It's been an amazing experience. It will be interesting to kind of look back on the history of it, on all of the things we've had to endure. But I'm also just proud of how we have accomplished that as a company. I was really joined Airbnb because I love and support the mission of Airbnb, and I felt like we've managed this crisis incredibly well. And as part of it, not just trying to have the company survive and thrive, but also to continue to support organizations that we find incredibly important. Those are organizations like Larkin Street Youth Services, excuse me. You know, the Airbnb Community Fund, where we're providing $100 million over 10 years to communities all around the world, because we're in 220 countries and regions around the world. It's not just San Francisco, and we try to make sure that we're supporting organizations all around the world. All the challenges and support we've given to organizations like Black Lives Matter, and then most recently just the Afghan refugees, and us trying to support the needs of those refugees coming back to the United States. But after all of that, I would say that the 30 years of my career, I just want to thank my wife, Monica, and she's been my rock. She's been my strongest supporter and advocate, and I love you.
And now for the final award of the evening, the 2021 Hall of Fame Lifetime Achievement Award, honoring Mark Hawkins of Salesforce. Here to introduce the award is Andrew Bodisco, Senior Vice President, Comerica Bank.
So I'm incredibly nervous to be here tonight. I got a call last night, last minute, hey, we need you to pinch hit. Room full of 250 incredibly successful, intelligent people, like, go for it. So bear with me here. I think you all have your programs. I want you to all acknowledge the incredible sponsors. This is about 3 pages in from the back. Without their support, it helps the incredible Larkin Street Youth Program and its clients, the homeless youth of San Francisco. Let's give a round of applause to all the sponsors. So there's one sponsor here that's a lifetime sponsor, and chapeau to Robert Half and KPMG, which also mentioned they were 15-year sponsors, but Comerica has been a 15-year sponsor since the inception of this event, and that's why we're a lifetime sponsor. And I'm incredibly proud of Comerica Bank to be part of our organization to do that. Not only are we a sponsor of this, but we're also Larkin Street's bank, and many of our colleagues have given their time and energies to help support Larkin Street. I myself have gone and worked in the kitchen 3 or 4 times, sorted clothes, and I've given to Larkin, but it's really given more back to me. Anybody that has not been to a graduation ceremony at Larkin Street, that will give to you, yeah. Hey, raise your hand if you've been to that ceremony. Okay, now keep your hand up if you cried. Yeah, you will cry. It's really amazing. This is for youth that have been through the program and have graduated from high school or college, and the stories come out and the tears come out, believe me. So, so we're here to honor the CFOs of these incredible organizations, and we want to, on behalf of Comerica, I want to congratulate all those finalists and awards winners. You're true leaders, and we look forward to your continued success. So our last award this evening is the prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award. This award is given to a CFO whose career is marked by significant impact and accomplishment. Here to tell you more about this year's Lifetime Achievement Award winner is Robin L. Washington. Robin is currently a member of the board of directors of Alphabet, Honeywell International, and Salesforce. She is the former CFO. Yeah, round of applause for Robin. She's the former CFO of Gilead, and she won this Lifetime Achievement Award in 2017. So Robin Washington, Where are you? There you are.
Wow, nice to really see everybody for a change. I have to say that this event is one of my favorite events. It not only honors chief financial officers, but it supports all the great work of Larkin Youth Street Services, which simply does an amazing job. And I have to say, Zame, your words were so inspiring. Keep being the queen that you are. Okay. I also want to be sure that we again acknowledge the San Francisco Business Times for always being such an integral part of this event as well. And then finally, just an acknowledgement to all the superstars, whether you were nominated or won, you're all great. So, and you know, I don't think a lot of these companies, public, non-public, not-for-profit, or transformational, they wouldn't be the same without all of your support and guidance and leadership. So on behalf of the Salesforce leadership team, the board of directors, the employees at Salesforce, I am so honored to introduce this year's Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Mark Hawkins. So I've had the privilege of knowing Mark for many, many years. I met him when we were both much younger, and I mean that literally and figuratively, because we were very young in our profession as CFOs and truly younger. For those of you that have this role, you know sometimes it can create gray hairs amongst other things, right? So Mark quickly became one of those critical peer-to-peer go-to resources for console advice, or, hey, have you ever seen this before? Remember 2008? Again, he was someone that I went to a lot as we navigated those uncharted times as well as many others. And I remember attending many of the CFO roundtables with Mark, and both of us being really awestruck by some of the seasoned CFOs around the table that we could garner insight from. I bring this up because only about 2 weeks ago, several generations of Bay Area CFOs gathered to celebrate Mark's retirement from his CFO role at Salesforce. And hearing so many people share their wonderful experiences and thoughts of Mark, it was so impactful and clearly distinguished Mark as a leader in his profession, an inspiring team builder, a motivator, a sincere supporter of so many in the CFO and the finance community. So I could go on and on about his finance career and accolades. He's been an integral part of many iconic companies, and he's worked side by side with some phenomenal leaders. But I know you guys can all read that from looking at his bio. But what I really want to share with you is why I personally admire Mark and why it's so fitting for him to be recognized this evening. You know, going back to that gathering I mentioned a few weeks ago when we talked about how happy and proud we were to be part of the Bay Area CFO community, Mark was not only part of the community, but he helped build it and nurture it, because that's the type of person that he is. And we all know that being a truly successful CFO requires a multitude of different skills. Mark embodies many of them, but his standout quality is that he is truly a good human being. So like me, he's a Midwesterner, and we won't hold his college choice against him. It's our inside joke. But he's a hard worker who worked evenings while attending college on an academic scholarship. He still values his childhood relationships and spends time annually with friends he has known since 4th grade. Relationships matter to Mark, and he nurtures them. He's passionate about causes that matter. He's been an advocate and sponsor for numerous charitable causes, a true believer in diversity and inclusion, and a very early and passionate advocate for our planet. He's a founding member and global ambassador for the US chapter of the UK Prince's Accounting for Sustainability CFO Leadership Network. One of my fondest memories was a roundtable session with Mark and several other global CFOs with Prince Charles in the UK. Mark was instrumental in bringing this initiative to the US CFO community. Mark's also disciplined and committed to excellence. He's a committed runner. We often talk after some of his weekend runs. He's a co-founder of the Silicon Valley Marathon Club. He's completed 17 marathon races around the world. As a matter of fact, Mark reminded me that when I became audit chair at Salesforce and we were looking for a new CFO, I had a conversation with Mark when he was in London preparing for the London Marathon in 2014. And fortunately, he joined the company. But what I most admire about Mark is his commitment and his love for his family. He's a proud and committed husband, dad, and now a grandfather. Mark, I know Laura, his wife of 40 years, and his two sons, Matt and Daniel, who are here this evening, are truly proud of you. He's also got a beautiful daughter-in-law, Katie, who is holding down the fort in Austin, Texas, with those two gorgeous grandsons, Heath and Judd, which I think we've probably seen a picture of them at some point. So as friends and colleagues, Mark and I chat about pretty much everything, and our discussions about time for family has been game-changing for me. I remember Mark sharing with me the walks that he and his son have done on a regular basis for years, and that tradition now continues with his grandsons. The gift of time, memories, and wisdom shared is something that I'm sure both of you are extremely grateful for from your dad. So I could go on and on, but Mark, my friend and colleague, a heartfelt congratulations to you on this well-deserved reward for your career accolades, but pretty much and mostly because you're just a rock star human. I am proud and humbled to have worked with you and congratulate you on your next chapter in this well-deserved achievement of the Bay Area Lifetime CFO Achievement Award. Congratulations.
Okay, how's everyone doing? All right. To say today is special is an understatement beyond belief. It's so good to see everyone, and thank you, Robin. A heartfelt thanks to a dear friend. You know, many know Robin as the former CEO, or CFO, excuse me, at Gilead Sciences, incredible run. Many know her and her boards that are world-class by any description, some of the best boards in the world. But I know her as my great friend, colleague, and mentor. And it has been an amazing, amazing journey to be able to call a friend. You talk about phoning a friend in the middle of the financial crisis or whatever. It has been just simply a joy to really work with you, to know you, to learn from you, and to call you a friend. And Carl and the whole family, I'm super, super grateful, and I just want to put that out right now. You know, she's the rarest kind of leader. She's visionary, she's courageous when it matters, talented and very, very generous. And I'm super proud to call her my friend. My thanks also go out to our sponsors of the award and the Larkin Street for all you do for the youth of San Francisco streets. I am so inspired by the discussions tonight. and many other nights. It is just impressive. And I also want to thank the San Francisco Business Times for your role in perpetuating this beautiful event and supporting Larkin Street. And my deep gratitude goes to my wife of 40 years. Laura, right there. We tell each other we raised each other. It's been super fun. Thank you, Laura. My two sons, Matt and Dan, right here. And my entire extended family. You are and always have been my rock, and I love you all. I'm so thankful. I'm so happy to share the day with you as well as my Salesforce team. Salesforce, right over here, indeed. You know, no CFO can succeed without a ton of support from world-class people and collaboration with all of your colleagues. No one can. Which is why this award is less about me and really more about the entire Salesforce team, the Salesforce finance leadership team, a world-class group of people if I've ever seen one. It has been such an honor to serve side by side with each of you for 7+ years. Truly an honor. You know, growing up in a small farm town just south of Ann Arbor in Michigan, I never imagined to be here today, ever. My career has been quite a journey, one that has literally taken me and my family around the world into over 60 countries. It's a journey I'm incredibly grateful for. When I was young, coming out of Michigan State, go green, I had to get that in there. I had to get that in there, thank you. I turned down a job offer at General Motors. It would have been great money, and in 1981, it was the most powerful company in the world. But there was something else going on out west, and I kept hearing about it. This industry known as tech was changing everything, and I wanted to be a part of that future. After studying the situation, I concluded that tech was the place to be, and contrary to the pundits at the time, and declared to myself, go west, young man, go west. It worked out pretty well. And so I went to Colorado Springs instead of Detroit, and I worked for Hewlett-Packard, a company that was a tiny fraction of the size of General Motors. While I was there, we grew at HP from $3 billion in sales to over $50 billion in revenue per year, organically, and then I was hooked. I was hooked. Since then, I've had the pleasure to work with some of the most iconic leaders at some of the greatest growth companies in the world at some of the most special times for those companies, and it truly has been an honor. I just have to say, I think of Bill Hewlett and Dave Packard and Michael Dell and Daniel Burrell, the founder of Logitech, and Carl Bass, the CEO at Autodesk. And I have one of the co-founders at Salesforce right here, Parker Harris, a dear friend, and I want to just call him out as well, please. Each of these leaders and their companies rewrote the future and fashioned a new world. They fashioned a new world. For a long time, I thought I'd seen it all, and then I met Mark Benioff when he reached out. Working side by side with Mark and Parker, the founders and the executive team and the financial leadership team at Salesforce these past 7 years has been my greatest professional honor. With them, I've learned that the future was not just about innovation, the new disrupting the old. The future was about values. And that has been a powerful lesson. Over the years, Salesforce built the #1 CRM in the world and vaulted to the S&P 500 and the Fortune 500, and then the Fortune 200, and now the Dow Jones 30 Industrial Index. It's a true generational company with its greatest moments in front of it. Salesforce went from a cramped Coit Tower apartment to one of the most valuable companies in the world because we stayed laser focused on our values, our true north. And our values directed us not only just to grow, but to give back. So every year, we give back 1% of our time, our resources, and our technology to the communities that help make us who we are. We do that because we believe business has stakeholders and not just shareholders, and that values drive value. And I believe with all my heart that alongside partners like Larkin Street, business can be one of the greatest platforms in the world for positive change. I pass the Salesforce CFO operational torch to my very good friend and dear colleague, Amy Weaver. Woo! The definition of a great leader has evolved, and Amy will fit perfectly into that dynamic new mold, and Salesforce is in very good hands. To succeed in today's market, it's not just about protecting and preserving the business model. A CFO also has to speak to investors about ESG and diversity and climate change. We all have to widen the aperture and plan for investors all the way through the customers, our communities, our partners, and our employees. A modern CFO needs to be in front of those trends because investors demand it, and it's the right thing to do. And our globe depends on it. Our climate is changing at an alarming pace, and if we don't act soon, the next generation will suffer those consequences. In fact, the future of our planet depends in large part on the private sector's ability to make business models more sustainable. So we need to think bigger. We need to dream bigger. We need to impact bigger. CFOs everywhere must work towards sustainability by signing on for TCFD and A4S. No one can do everything, but everybody can do something. And we should all aim to do something big. I ask each of the CFOs in the audience today to commit to action now. Time is of the essence. You know, I've always believed in the credo, better, better, never done. That philosophy is what keeps me focused on the future, a future in which everyone has a role to play and every company can evolve and grow. And at the same time, I think gratitude and trust are critical to a dreaming big and always leaning forward. After all, we all stand on the shoulders of the people who helped us get to where we are today. So I'd like to finish tonight on a note of gratitude. Tonight I say thank you. Thank you to my family. Thank you to my team. I thank you so much. To tonight's sponsors, to San Francisco Business Times, to Mark Benioff and Parker Harris, who had a dream, Robin Washington, Maynard Webb, Keith Black, so many people I could say thank you to. I say thank you to the entire Salesforce Board of Directors and all the Salesforce investors and all the Salesforce Ohana, my mentors, and all the many managers and leaders and mentors who lifted me up. You know, leaders do that. They lift you up. My teachers and, you know, all the people in my community, thank you, thank you, thank you for giving me all that you've given me and for carrying on our mission going forward. It is an honor to have all of you in my life. You know, the first 40 years of my career has been better than I could have ever imagined. Now it's on to chapter 2, where I look forward to continuing to grow, to serve, and to dream big, both professionally and personally. So keep a lookout for my children, Matt and Dan, and my forthcoming book, Walk with My Sons, Better, Better, Never Done. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Please welcome back to the stage, Sherilyn Adams and Mary Huss.
Oh, forgot. All right. I just think that was so amazing, Mark. That I'm really touched and inspired by everything you said. So I know I'm standing between you and the exit, so Mary and I just really want to thank you all here tonight. So I'm going to turn over to Mary for 1 minute, and then I'm going to give you the results of how everything went tonight. But Mary's got something to share too.
Well, I just want to say you've all inspired me and inspired all of us, and thank you, Mark. I'm so moved by what you said. But what I do want to say, selection panel is in here, if you want to look it up. And also, if you want to read about the all of the amazing honorees who we celebrate tonight, there's a copy of the Business Times edition. But let's just have a huge round of applause for just the inspiring and hardworking, really amazing leaders, and also for Larkin Street. I mean, I think this has been a win for Larkin Street because the message just keeps getting out there. And Zamaya, rock on.
Zamaya.
Anyway, thank you.
And Xander. Yes, thank you. Huge congratulations to all the finalists and all the winners. You all are incredible people. I am I'm so impressed that everybody's a runner. I think there's something about marathon running. I'm a marathon runner, so I'm going to run with all of you. So kudos to all the runners. Kudos to all the winners and the finalists. And just so you know what all you did. So that mobile giving goal of $50,000, $129,000. I think Larkin Street CFO's in the room. She's going to be super happy about that. And the overall revenue for tonight for this event was $521,000. Thank you all very much. Again, huge congratulations to all the winners. Deep gratitude, Mark, for your inspirational words and for all you've done. Everybody, thank you for being here. Have a great night. Take care.